Hello everybody. So today we will talk about a website security and its importance. We all know that website is really important for any business, and having a secure website is really vital to someone's online presence as having a website host. If a website is hacked or blacklisted, it loses almost more than 98% of its traffic. Not having a secure website can be as bad as not having a website at all, or even worse. So for example, client data breach can result in lawsuits or heavy fines and ruined reputation. I must remind you that website security is an ongoing process. There are various goals when hacking websites. Why someone will hack your website? Like exploiting site visitors, stealing information stored on the server, tricking bots and crawlers like black hat SEOs, abusing server resources, and etc. We have already discussed about information security, CIA triad, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. I'll repeat them quickly just for your reference. So, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. This model is used to develop policies for security collaboration. In confidentiality, we refer to access control of information to ensure that those who shouldn't have access are kept out. And that can be done with passwords, usernames, and access control components. And the integrity that ensures that information end user receives is accurate and unaltered by anyone other than the site owner. This is often done with encryption, such as a secure socket layer SSL certificates, which ensure the data is in transit is encrypted. And the availability that rounds out the triad and ensure information can be accessed and when needed. So there are some common website security vulnerabilities and threats are like SQL injection, that are done by injecting malicious code in a vulnerable SQL query. They rely on an attacker adding a specially crafted request within the message sent by the website to the database. And second will be cross-site scripting, which we say XSS. This kind of attack consists of injecting malicious client-side script into a website and using the website as a propagation method. The danger behind XSS is that it allows an attacker to inject content into a website and modify how it's displayed, forcing a victim browser to execute the code provided by the attacker when loading the page. And number third would be brute force attack. With this attack, they gain the access of website's admin area, a control panel. This process is very simple. The attacker basically programs a script to try multiple combinations of username and password until it finds out one that works. Once the access is granted, attacker can launch a variety of malicious activities, from spam campaign to coin miners and credit card stealers. And then we have a website malware infection attacks, which they use to gain unauthorized access to a website. Attacker can inject SEO, spam on the page, or drop a backdoor to maintain access, collect the visitor information or the credit card data. They can run exploits on the server to escalate the access level. They can launch attack against other sites. And then we have a DOS attack or DDoS attack, denial of service. or distribute denial of service attack. It's a non-intrusive internet attack. It's meant to take down the target website or slow it down by flooding a traffic server or application with the fake traffic. With the DDoS traffic attack will be the threat that website owner must familiarize themselves with, when there is critical piece of security landscape. When DDoS attack targets a vulnerable resource-intensive endpoint, even a tiny amount of traffic is enough for attack to be successful. So the websites we use mainly for the online business or e-commerce. Okay, the banks and financial institutions, they use kind of compliance which is called Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, PCI DSS, which outlines requirement for website owners with online stores. These requirements help to ensure that you are properly securing the cardholder data as you collect as an online store. And for e-commerce websites, it's critical to do everything in your power to ensure that cardholder data passes from a browser to a web server by being properly encrypted via HTTPS. It should also be stored on the server securely and similarly encrypted when transmitted to any third-party payment processing service. Hackers may try to steal or intercept cardholder data at any time, whether the data is at the rest or in transit. You can design or develop a website security framework to avoid this kind of risk. NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology for the US, they also have come up with a cybersecurity framework which forms the basis of our website security principles. In that framework, they have discussed 5 functions: identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. So if we consider these 5 elements, we can make our website even more secure by following this framework. Under identify, I will just explain it briefly. You can refer this list framework online. So during this stage, all assets, inventory and management is documented and reviewed, where you can take a further steps like the web properties or web server infrastructure, a third-party integration, access point nodes. Once you have a list of your website assets, you can take steps to audit and defend each of them from attack. You can protect them. There are many reasons why we should be protecting them. We can use different protective technologies and layer of defense. Sometimes these measures satisfy compliance requirements such as PCI, or make it easy to virtually patch or make it tough or hard environment that are vulnerable to attack. Detect. How do you detect it? By continuous monitoring. That's the basic concept, which refers that we need to implement tools to monitor our website and alert any issues. For monitoring, it should be in place to verify the security state of DNS records, SSL certificates, web server configuration, application updates, or user access or file integrity. You can also use the security scanners and tools like SiteCheck to scan for indicators of compromise or vulnerabilities. And the response. A proper incident response plan includes selecting an incident response team, reporting of incident to review findings, and mitigating the events. So during the remediation process, we never know beforehand what malware we are going to find. So some issues can spread quickly and infect other websites in shared server environment. We call them cross-contamination. Again, if you refer NIST, the incident, in terms of incident response process, that's been broken into 4 broad phases: preparation and planning, detection and analysis, containment, eradication and recovery, and post-incident activities. So once you have a comprehensive preparation phase or a good website security team, it's really critical to the success of the mission. Finally, I would say, in the event of hack, website backups are crucial to recover your website from a major security incident. Though it shouldn't be considered a replacement for having a website security solution, but still a backup can help recover damaged files.